having a potluck and pajama day and all of that fun stuff. So at the beginning of every year, we normally go to Bunsen Lake and we go canoeing and we just hang out with our friends. And it's a great way to open the year and also to just hang out with your friends and meet the new grades. We were going to go camping this year instead, but unfortunately got canceled due to the weather, so we're planning on going in April instead. This year we're also trying something new with a senior formal for grade 11s and 12s, and it's kind of a celebration of everyone's work throughout the years, and it's just going to be a fun kind of dance. We also have Shakespeare at the school, which is a video project that we do every year. Last year we did Romeo and Juliet. It is a fun way to get to engage with other grades and meet new people and work with people that you wouldn't necessarily work with on a daily basis. So each group basically gets an act from a Shakespeare play, and then they have a week to kind of put that together and record it. And then at the end, all of these films are put together and we watch it, and it's super fun. We also do other film projects at the beginning of the year. Like last year, we did a survival guide to iHub film project. It was really fun because it was nice, especially if you were new, to just engage and meet with the other grades. And yeah. So the big event that we have at iHub every year is called Annual. It celebrates everyone and all of their hard work throughout the year. We have these things called Ollie Awards. You can get an award for a film project or your outstanding projects. There's a lot of music performances, speeches, and it involves the whole community, which is really nice. So as we've been talking about, iHub has lots of student-run events and clubs. It's a good opportunity if there's something that isn't happening at the school and you want it to happen, you can make it happen, which is amazing. We also have a very tight-knit community here, which makes these events all the better. And we have a very vibrant community here at iHub, and we are looking for more people who want to contribute to it. And yeah, thank you so much.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Perfect, thank you. Not that short. Hi, everyone. My name's Colin Richdale, and I'm a grade 11 student here at iHub. Maya sang earlier, you might remember her, we made a video about inquiry, and so that's what you're about to see. Over the course of our time here at iHub, and especially during grades 9 and 10, we have the opportunity to create films and other videos, and we're very fortunate to have a wide array of technology provided for us to learn. For example, in grades 9 and 10, we created podcasts, films, documentaries, and newscasts. This year, many of us, including myself, decided to take Film and TV 11, where we have expanded on the technology and techniques we learned in our first 2 years at the school. This video also connects to our Marketing 11 class. Marketing has taken on the responsibility of planning iHub Open, so the program you are experiencing tonight was put together by the students, and I think that's something really special about iHub. I was able to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone by making a video for Film and TV as well as marketing, so that is what you're about to see. Thank you, and without further ado, here's the video.
So what are inquiry projects? Inquiry projects are when a student chooses something that they're interested in learning more about, and then they make a plan, they document their process, and then at the end they share what they've learned, the challenges that they've gone through, the expertise that they've used, and basically just presents it to the class. And it's a really good way to figure out what you're interested in and what you're passionate about. My inquiry this year, it's an IDS, Independent Directed Study, and it's making a movie. So I'm going to be composing the music for the movie, I'm going to be directing, I'm going to be editing and filming.
So since I'm in grade 11 right now, I'm doing an IDS, but one of my favorite inquiries of grade 10 was writing a children's book. So here it is. It's called The Frog Who Wanted to Sing. It was a 25-hour inquiry. And I spent the whole time, I wrote the children's book, I illustrated it, and I published it.
My inquiry is currently making art out of chemical reactions.
Now, at the time that I was completing this inquiry, I got really sick for about 5 weeks, so I couldn't do much school, I couldn't do much extracurricular activities, and obviously I could not work on my inquiry. So I was really behind, and I even considered like, oh, everyone's done, I'm just going to stop where I am. But then I decided that I may as well finish it because I had worked on it a little bit already. So I had to work through that challenge, and I'm really glad I did because now I have a finished book.
My biggest challenge so far has been figuring out how to find expertise because I don't know anybody else who works in the chemistry field very well.
Who have I consulted for expertise? So we had a career day and at iHub, and so one of the people there, another student's parent, actually works in the film industry. She's a producer, a director, and a scriptwriter, so that's perfect. And so then I was able to talk with her and then later email her, and currently we're setting up a Zoom meeting, and then she can help me sort out some stuff for when I'm doing the shooting. She'll help me make a shot board and stuff like that.
I've always loved writing. I've wrote short stories, I've started novels, but I've never finished a novel. So I was like, I'm going to scale it down a little bit to make this a realistic and manageable inquiry project. So I decided to do a children's book as my first official book, I guess. And yeah.
The main reason I wanted to incorporate lots of stuff that I was interested about. In past inquiries, I've done swimming stuff because I really like swimming. I've done music stuff because that's another interest of mine. And then I also really like film and TV, and ever since I was young, I have done little movies that I've made with my sister and friends, and so I wanted to incorporate lots of skills into one project.
Really setting your mind to what you want to do is something I learned. I never thought that this inquiry would go so far. For example, after I finished writing this book, it got published in the library. From then on, I went to write a cookbook for another inquiry project based on this one. And then I also wrote a book for one of my friend's birthdays based on my original children's book as well. So my inquiry took me way farther than I thought. And if I had quit like I originally was going to after I got really sick, I would have never gotten this far. So perseverance is really the key thing I learned.
I learned that you need to persist even if you feel like things aren't going wrong. There can be solution to things that you find that are in your way, and to just always try.
So the difference between inquiries in grades 9 and 10 and IDS in grade 11 and 12, IDS, they're longer projects, and so in grade 9 and 10 you do multiple per year, and then for these ones you can choose to do a 60-hour project, 2 of them, or you can do a 120-hour, which is the whole year long. That's the main difference. And then also for IDS, you need to connect it to the curriculum. And so you find courses and stuff and then relate it and help intertwine it into your inquiry.
Oh, testing. There we go. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jacob T. Stafford, and I'm in grade 10.
My name is Danica Toth, and I'm in grade 9.
And we're here to tell you about our inquiry projects. So, as you've just learned in that video, inquiry projects are these really cool projects where you as a student get to explore what you're passionate about. So for your first inquiry, it will be 10 hours of committed time, and you will choose a topic and work with a teacher to form that into a research question, and you will produce a final result. For my first inquiry at Inquiry Hub, I designed and folded an origami beetle. Yes, as you see on the screen right there. So I used a mathematical technique called the tree method, which uses circle packing and a bunch of complicated other mathematical concepts to derive a crease pattern for it and fold it.
For my inquiry project in grade 9, I decided to make fantasy masks based on my emotions, how I perceive them, and how I embody them. Through doing this inquiry process, you have to constantly make sure you're documenting every single little thing you do, so your teachers always know where you are in your project. It doesn't so much matter if you can finish them, more of mattering how much effort and time and energy and passion you put into them. For a lot of students, they will go to their teacher with these ideas, and the teacher will be like, hey, is this really a good idea? Can you simplify this? Can you add more? And from there, you can relook your idea, redesign it, and go through with it all the way to the end.
That was very well said. You also, at the end of your inquiry, will be presenting it to the class. We do a lot of presentations here at Inquiry Hub, and it's a skill that you'll really get to build here. You'll also, for your inquiry projects, be contacting expertise. So these are experts outside of the classroom, outside of the building. Could be someone you know, could be someone you don't know. But it is somebody who will be able to help you get a head start and accelerate your research and your project.
Now you may be asking, why do we present them to the class? There's a couple of reasons. First off, to inspire your peers. They might want to do something in the future that was similar to your project. They might want to ask your help for a future project. And presenting, like, why would you not want to? When you do something you're so passionate about, like, it just bubbles up until it explodes out of you, and you just have to tell every single person you know about what you did. Yeah, I think that's all we have on inquiries. Thank you.
If you have any good inquiry ideas, then maybe this is the school for you.
Thank you. Well, it's wonderful to see so many people here. I really appreciate you making the effort, and you might have met me before. I was the parking attendant. I just want to start off by saying that what you're seeing here, I think it's obvious, is very student-driven, and I want to thank our students for taking the time. They have very busy schedules, and then on top of that, for a lot of students, Colin got some credit for what he's doing here, but for a lot of these students, they're also doing it just because they really enjoy the school and want to share it. And so I thank them and our teachers for the time that they put together this. There's really three messages I have. The first one is just about the kind of student that we're looking for applications. And I think it's important because this is our 12th year, and we have really figured out the thing that most applies to our school. And if there are two things that really work, one is that the student is at least somewhat self-directed. And what I mean by that is if you're a student or a parent of a student who is always handing things in late, and you have to kind of nag them to get things done, and you're chasing them, or the teachers are chasing them, giving them this much freedom in a school is a disaster. It becomes something where work avoidance becomes too easy, and the work piles up because we are a regular high school. There is the math, English, social science, physical education, career planning, and other courses that our students have to do on top of doing their inquiry course where they get all of this choice. And when you don't have, when you have these core blocks where a teacher might be teaching for a full hour and giving a very traditional lesson, or might be saying to the scrum teams, you know, what are your plans, go, and giving them 2 hours to work. When you have that much sort of freedom, you need students who know how to meet those deadlines. And I would love it for Inquiry Hub to be a school for everyone, but when you come at grade 9 and you don't have some of those skills, that's really tough. On the other hand, if you are someone that gets things in on time, you'll notice I didn't say anything about your marks. It's just about the fact that you have those skills. We can work with you if you understand how to get the job done to help you improve those marks. But the focus has to be on that timing. The second thing that we know really matters is attendance. And when we see patterns of students being away, you have to imagine that some weeks you might have a 1-hour lesson with a teacher, but the rest of the time is work blocks. When you miss that one lesson with the teacher, you're missing an entire week of work, right? And or of opportunity where they're giving that direct instruction and feeding you the content and the instructions that you actually need in order to meet their curriculum requirements. And so that self-driven part is important, and that attendance is important. There's a lot of other things that we can do to work with students if those two things are things that they can master on their way to grade 9 and further on. Now, some of you, not all of you, are going to have another question, and that is, well, what happens after Inquiry Hub? And so I think that that's a question that's a very valid question. And like I said, a student who graduates here graduates with what's called a Dogwood diploma. It's the exact diploma you would get at any other high school in our district. And we've had quite a bit of success of students getting into the programs that they want to. And so I don't think I need to read any of those there, but there's a few that I'll mention. You know, we've had some students who are now in the workforce that went through computer science and engineering at UBC. We have someone who just graduated from just recently from the Vancouver Film School. We have a student, I just was in contact this summer with a student who just graduated from mechatronics at Waterloo. And that's a very prestigious program. It's hard to get into. Well, what we find is our students tend to, there's only 2 stories I know, and since we've started graduating students here, where students didn't get into the programs they wanted to. One was twin boys, and one of them got into UBC engineering and the other one didn't. So the one that didn't went to Langara for a year and joined his brother in year 2. And so he ended up getting exactly what he wanted anyway. And the other one, he got, it was a couple of years ago, and he got an interview at one of the Ivy League schools. I can't remember. I think it was Princeton. He got an interview, but he didn't get in. He's currently in computer science at UBC. So those are the ones that didn't get in, but what we continually see are the ones, I mean, I'll give you 2 examples, but I can give you tons of examples of the ones that got in, and they get the schools that they want. And that is not purely on our part, it's the hard work and the work ethic that students have that get here. And one of the things that we notice is the format of our school makes the jump to university very easy. And that's something we've heard over and over again. It's just amazing how when we ask students how university is, we'll get comments like, it's busy. Not, it's too hard, I can't do it, I can't manage my time. It's just, you know, when you get into a program like engineering, it's really busy. And so what we notice though is that, I don't have current stats, but I know that just before COVID, the dropout rates after first year for university was somewhere between 12 and 14% for UBC and SFU. And that's really high. And what that is those are high-achieving kids getting into university from schools with great marks, and then they don't understand what it is like to go through school days where they're completely in control of what they're doing and how they manage their time. And those are the kind of skills. The idea that we actually teach Scrum, which is used in businesses around the world as a business management and time management system. These are things that our students learn in school while they're here. They don't have to wait to get to university to make those kind of adjustments. And so my final thing that I have to say is, well, how do you apply? And the first step is to actually go to inquiryhub.org, and there is an apply page. I want to thank the many students who have already applied. Thank you very much. You'll be receiving some information from me tomorrow. The steps are, students, please, not parents. Students, we want students because they're the ones it's their education. We want them to hit that apply button and to fill out the form. It's a very short form, just for us to learn a little bit about them. The next step is we actually plan an interview, and the interview is student and parent. We also have a student questionnaire. That questionnaire should take the student about an hour to do on their own. Some take a little bit longer. And then we also have a shorter questionnaire for teachers, and we ask for recent report cards as well. So that's the process, but it all starts with the hitting that apply button and the student filling out the form. After that, I guide you through the entire process, and the interviews are along with the teachers in our school. It's not just me making the decision. We make it a decision as a group. I want to thank everyone again for coming, and I will be around after if there's any questions, but I do encourage you not just to walk out of here at the end and leave, but to actually walk around, talk to our students who are waiting in some of the rooms and learn a lot more from them and see the kind of things that they do and enjoy at school. Thank you.
Thank you to Mr. Truss for that. We are almost finished with the presentation portion of this night.
After the presentations are done, I encourage you guys to go look at some student-led tours, rooms displaying some of our inquiry projects that we were proud of. There will be a couple of snacks for you guys down on this side of the school, and we strongly encourage you to talk to some teachers. Here is our final performance by Danica and Allison. And after that, sadly, our time at the live stream is over. But here we will continue with a Q&A.
Hi. Hello? Can you hear me? Okay. Hi. As you already heard, my name is Danica. I spoke earlier this evening. This is my wonderful friend Allison, and she is singing with me in an original song I wrote about 2 years ago. It's a story about a boy that fell in love, completely fictional, and he's constantly terrified that his lover is going to leave him. So he writes a song to kind of cope with that emotion, and I wrote her response. It was a February day when I felt my world go spinning away. The wind is howling, not a cloud in the sky, but I always look outside. Cherry bomb on her lips, I can't help myself. Frame her eyes from my shelf of perfect pictures. Her smile lights up a room full of shadows, just like fireflies. All those fairy tale days that I knew so well just flew away. The storm is coming, so I run and hide, but will I just survive?
It was so sweet when it arrived that all I knew was paradise. You asked my heart to shine so bright, but my wisdom isn't wise.
Sorry. It's okay. The smell of honey and spice always grows by the day when I'm by your side. And your eyes could melt whole glaciers of ice if you haven't already tried. Ooh.